history, as Capitalist had mentioned at the beginning of game one, Flight of Moon had beaten OG the last time that they had met up in ESL Birmingham, but based off of game one, it still seems like OG is going to be favored.
Yeah, but if we remove the names and just look at the draft, I would say the the Dire team misclicked twice.
Too many. This looks like a pub draft.
It really does. Like, one of these heroes is going to be in jungle. Most likely it's going to be Sven. You know, he has a built-in cleave.
I'm just hyped for good dotes for OG. Whenever they play, I learn something new. It opens up some new dimension to the way the game can be played. Just hyped for this. I still think Fly to Moon, like in the first draft, in the first game, I liked Fly to Moon's draft more. I like it here as well, but it doesn't mean it's better.
Then let's go ahead and get educated as we pass it on to our casters for game number 2.
Now, I am in no way saying that OG is disrespecting Flight of Moon with this draft. I am absolutely not saying that. What I am going to say, though, is if I was on Flight of Moon, I would feel disrespected at this point.
I can't blame you for that, to be honest. We were theory crafting the 5 different orientations of roles that this could come up with, and I think I was right? I said 3 mag, 4 Sven.
Yep.
Okay, you know, just once again, teaching Cap a thing or two as we work together here. We do see the abandoned absolute last pick in response to the battle.
You also suggested offlane Riki.
With a meteor.
And I said to you, absolutely not. I can't see Riki anywhere else but safe lane. Midwest committing for it. Is he gonna get this first blood? He needs the Aphotic Shield to pop, and he gets it.
Aphotic Shield does pop new damage before the damage is registered, so...
No Tail almost lost them that first blood by tanking the tower.
You know, that offlane Riki pick with the Meteor Hammer prediction, that was like the, you know, ace in the hole where it's like, if they did that, I would look like a genius.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I gotta throw that one out there just in case. You know, that's going for the home run. But much more normal lineup, one would say, from Flight of Moon, as they have the offlane bat, or 5-position bat, offlane clock. Never mind, not quite as normal. So they've demoted the bat. That's been their response to this bat. And we heard Kyle talk about the mid laner to the 5-position counter, and they said, well, we'll just make it a 5 against a 5.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty fair, because he's up against a double melee off lane. And neither one of those melees is the Abaddon. So I imagine this is going to be a really good 5-position bat for the laning phase anyway. Saksa is going to be forced away with all those stacks on.
Would you say this is a sticky situation for Sven and Saksa?
I think it's going to be a very sticky situation, and I hope it doesn't blow up in their face at any point.
Yeah, I see what you did there. As B-Tune looks like he's having a pretty decent start thus far. Tiny also absolutely free farming the mid lane. I have to imagine he does pretty well against Invoker. The only problem Invoker I could see posing is just the continuous right clicks to Tiny's 0 base armor, but Thompson does get some nice CS with that Tornado. Looks like both heroes are getting what they want out of mid lane. Thompson, one of the few Invokers I still see go for the Quas Wex. I'll occasionally see it, but I see a lot more Exorts nowadays.
You know what's funny is I was literally just talking to some other analyst in a cast, I think it was yesterday, and I was like, you know, like, oh, we're seeing Quas Wex. I feel like we're seeing mostly Exort. And he's like, no, I feel like I'm seeing more Quas Wex. it just depends on who we're watching.
Is this like unranked?
You know, shall not be named. So I'm not trying to put people down here, Brian.
If it was Kyle, that makes a lot more sense. As we do see the Sven go down.
Yeah.
Not to be unexpected, right? A little bit weird that it happened when Terrorblade didn't have meta, but the Batrider is just so potent here. They can't remove Sticky Napalm. Almost surprised they haven't rotated the Abaddon with the Sven here.
Yeah, seriously. Gonna try and go for the kill on Always Want to Fly. Couldn't get the skewer positioning, in part because of that Sticky Napalm. Ruining that turn rate.
Yeah, the turn rate nerf on Sticky Napalm was pretty impactful, though.
Yeah.
Going from 40% or 70% to 40%. If you think about it, you used to have 30% turn rate, and now you have 60%. So they basically gave everyone double the turn rate against Batrider level 1. It's pretty noticeable.
And it's going to be pretty noticeable here, where Always Want to Fly is going to die.
Always want to die, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't wait to see them against 5 men. Always Want to Die versus Die.
That's true. I like Die Die Die, you know, it reminds me of the golden age of the NSYNC. Or was that Backstreet Boys? Man, same idea.
One of those boy bands.
Yeah. The prime time of our generation.
Yes, back when there was real music on the radio.
None of this new rap crap. You know what I mean? Get at him.
General trying to stay on top of this damn Riki. But he keeps on bleed striking away, and apparently nobody cares about CS.
Yeah, General one of the few... Oh, God.
Going again? No.
I was going to say General is one of the few offlaners that I've seen actually play Clockwork 3 more than, like, once. You know, he does believe in it. That was at least last patch. He goes for, like, the double bracer, but he is queuing up a Wraith Band this game due to all the physical damage that we see represented by the Mag, the Riki. Even the Sven represents a little bit of it, but not nearly as much coming from a 4 position.
I wonder if that's just because he's an old school offlane player, you know? Like, he played during a time when Clockwork was the premier offlaner, and so, you know, he's like got a little bit of nostalgia for it.
Yeah, back when you'd cogs block and hope you'd get 1 CS in the first 5 minutes.
Yes, the suicide lane.
Yes.
The good old days.
Yeah, you're starting to come off like a real boomer right now, Cap, not gonna lie to you. As V2.
Okay, I'm embracing my boomerhood now.
Hey, you
I've
know
already
what?
shaved off all my hair, you know?
It's true.
Gotta go with it.
It's better to like accept it, embrace it, than to have other people, you know, be able to make fun of you for it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Iceberg toss him back, tops.
Yeah, that's pretty good. A couple of tower
Body block.
shots. Certainly not gonna get the kill as he's got Tornado on Thompson. Okay.
Wait, that disjoints?
I did not know that either.
Huh.
But apparently invisibility can disjoint. Oh, Thompson pops back out. Iceberg wants it. If he can get a range of the toss, maybe no, but the fairy fire goes off, so Thompson's going to be perfectly fine. Thompson completely debated you, and that's like a Thompson classic, man. I feel like Thompson is the guy who uses fairy fires to bait people in the most.
I also feel like a lot of people cast their spells to defend themselves like earlier than that, right? He just ran away when he had Ghost Walk, he had Tornado that entire time, as you were saying, and he's like, oh, maybe I can get this kill on the Tiny, and instead he just pays the price. Iceberg
nice skewer back.
Getting the debate there.
V-Tune.
Hey,
18
I
armor,
was about to
man.
comment on that too.
Insane. Iceberg does rotate up to top lane, gets a very important kill on mid one.
Already down by 1K at 5.5 minutes though, with the Mag lineup. The Mag lineups will always accelerate themselves, and that's always a bit concerning this early on. I'm a bit concerned for the objective taking for Flight of Moon. Yes, they have Terrorblade, but I have a feeling this game, because of the Quaswex Invoker and all the AoE, just even from the Sven stun and the Mag, it doesn't seem like his hero is going to be able to hit towers for a while.
Yeah, I guess my concern for OG is like a lot of this. There's a lot of weight I feel like on Thompson to make a lot of moves, you know, in this game, and because what does he have? You know, a 4 Sven, a 5 Abaddon.
Yeah, Riki kind of starts to make moves. I don't know if he'll be able to farm more on Riki just because he has a Mag. I would hope they kind of just use the Mag and power to get him an earlier defusal, but then play him like a normal Riki.
Sure. Iceberg, another rotation by him. He's going to go for Seb. Just talking about how Seb was having a pretty good game here. And apparently Flight of Moon, they agree and say it's time to put a stop to that nonsense.
Is that Thompson on Tiny? Just, you know, level 5 running around the map killing people?
Seriously.
This is much more common in EU, and I love it. When people lose their lane, instead of like trying to go back to an unwinnable lane, like Thompson's already beating.
Dude, he's got 21 charges, Thompson. That looks like this time you've been debated, sir. Dude, yeah. Roger had a Fairy Fire and 21 charges. He was perfectly fine.
Didn't check item inventory.
Classic mistake. For me. Yeah. Classic mistake for me. I don't expect it out of Thompson.
I was just saying that, like, that movement by Tiny even sets up that play to happen. If you continue to sit in a bad lane as a core, it just makes you a liability. But instead, he's turning his weakness into strength somewhere else, where he may be level 5 to the Invoker level 7, but everyone else on the map's level 5, so why not go there? I was surprised a bit that Thompson didn't counter-rotate him at all, you know? He didn't respond in a way where he broke up the engagement, but he was happy, it seems, to get the solo XP mid just to make sure he gave that much more away when the Tiny came back.
That is kind of the Quaswex Invoker specialty too, right? Kind of rotating, not feeding, kind of rotating.
Yeah, absolutely. I know what you're going for there.
Two-man smoke up, and Saksa runs right into the open arms of Iceberg. A little slow on the combo, though, aren't we, Iceberg? What was that? Actually not going to be able to get this kill. Two-man RP, but here comes Always Want to Fly. Maybe they'll actually get a more important kill here. Seb kind of put himself in danger. Fortunately, he's got no tail around.
They have no damage here on OG. Like,
yeah, but then again, Fly to Moon are also a little bit lacking in damage around that Abaddon. And Always Want to Fly is going to get caught out by Thompson.
yeah, took that 4th hero. Anytime I see a lineup with no damage in EU, it just seems like they have 4 heroes there like this early on in the game, and suddenly you're okay, I guess 4 heroes right-clicking is a pretty good amount of damage. As General's actually having a pretty good time up in the top lane, neck and neck on the net worth with the Riki. Has the Wraith Band for the attack speed and the armor. I used to see him go for the triple bracer Ags.
Yep.
So we'll see if he goes for these small stat items straight into the Ags like I've seen before. Maybe he'll go into some aura items.
Why are people going Wraith Band now instead, Brian?
It's just for the armor. It didn't used to give armor, right? So you're a clock with 5 base armor against Riki. And that's your laning opponent. You're not really rotating all that much on clock, because if you rotate too much, you and Tiny are basically doing the same job at that point, and then nobody's farming. So as we see OG diving again, Thompson's back for some more. Iceberg's also here. This
Iceberg is going to go in against 4 by himself, basically. A little bit hit and run tactics. Not enough to kill anybody just yet. Thompson, the tree goes out, but a Phonic Shield. That'll block some of the damage here. But a General goes into the hook shot, hitting the Abaddon instead. That's not what he wanted. He does have his battery salt out. No tails left on very low HP. Mid one's going to try and man fight it up. Dodging a little bit more. Saksa pops the God Strength and finishes off General. His first rotation, and it goes completely awry as now Iceberg may find himself killed next to his tier 2 tower. Roger, please save me, buddy. The avalanche slows down the damage. Bottle hits, but it's not good enough. They're going to dive into the tier 2, and there's no response from anybody else. I mean, they've got the Terror Blade. He just wants to keep farming. Roger's going to get dove underneath the tier 1, and I guess damage isn't the issue anymore. Roger tosses mid 1 back into the tier 1 tower, but the tower, it's busy focusing on creeps, so nobody from OG will die. V-Tune will get a tier 1 though.
Yeah, he made something happen on the other side of the map. Thompson does rotate, but I think he's just too speedy on V-Tune. That Metamorphosis buff to not lower your move speed anymore has been pretty noticeably impactful at this stage in the game, where usually you weren't comfortable enough to siege towers with meta because people could chase you out and catch you on your retreat.
Anybody who shows up the bottom lane is just dead.
That is the dead lane cap.
Yeah,
And very personified this game. This is exactly what I like to see in that lane. Teach them a lesson, OG.
Okay, but Brian, there has been some adjustments that I would say. Ooh. Iceberg seeing if anybody gets close. He's going to try the other angle here. Now, Saksa, I think he would certainly die to this combination, so you could just take that kill instead. I've noticed a lot more pro teams, they'll do this where they, if they get themselves ahead, will take the enemy safe lane tower and then protect their own.
Yes, but
why is that?
I think it's because of the fact that if you take their safe lane tower, it's like really weird for them to play bottom. Like say Dire takes safe lane tower, they don't really want to play bottom anymore. It's like it's even more dangerous than it already was. So then if you're able to control the top half of the map as well, suddenly where do they go? Like they just don't have anywhere to go. So I think it's like a strength move where if you are strong enough to not only take their tower but also defend your own, it's the most map control you can acquire this early on in the game. I think is what people are realizing, since your own outpost being not capturable by the opponent team.
Right.
Just makes it that much easier to defend your own jungle, as we do see the Abaddon go down this game to the Bat Rider, as well as the Tiny.
Yeah, he uses Lasso to force out the borrowed time and lets Iceberg clean up the kill. Nice hook shot in from General Thompson, who'd already used his Tornado, now left with just the Deafening Blast to protect himself. Fortunately, that's more than enough, though.
Yeah, I like the way that these subtle changes on the map affect like the optimal way to play.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if OG's trying to make moves, the concepts are still there. They're almost always going to be bottom, like because they haven't taken that tower yet. And if Flight of Moon doesn't commit enough resources to defend that tower, they're just going to feed one by one. The idea of the lane is that they're not accomplishing any objectives there they are only defending theirs, and they have to be aware that if they're there, they're protecting objectives from OG movements. They can't just go one at a time. OG they had 5 heroes in the bottom lane for what, like 2 minutes in a row?
Yeah, always on a fly. He's being chased underneath that tier 1 tower, but they do have 2-man smoke coming in from behind, plus now TP rotation.
There we go.
It's going to get real interesting real quick. Iceberg gets a nice combination on a mid one. Seb looking to protect his carry, throws out the RP, but there's so many heroes here. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get away from this one. Mid one pops out looking for a blink strike, but no opportunity in range. Fly to Moon, nicely baited by Always Wanna Fly.
This is the benefit of V2 taking that tower top, because as you said, when people take that tower, they're more inclined to now start to defend their own. This is a great movement. It makes it so OG's the pressure bottom is much more punishable. There's nothing for Terrorblade to gain top. There's no pressure that Topson's creating by being top, so they don't feel the need to be there anymore if they can defend their own tower. So yes, the Batrider looked like he was kind of feeding initially, but as you said, the 2-man smoke was prepared. They collapsed every hero into that lane, and that's what that right lane represents. All or nothing. You don't go one at a time. You know, as long as you are prepared to respond to the aggression, it's perfectly fine to be there. As we see, OG trying to catch Clockwork out, no mana.
Yeah, only has 4 wand charges, and that's certainly not enough.
He could easily save him for the next time. It wasn't going to change anything.
Yeah, I hate it when people do that, when they blow regen in situations where they're clearly dead.
Absolutely. Terrorblade did the nice little trick where if you summon a Conjure image right at the end of your meta, it kind of glitches up and keeps the metamorphosis on that Conjure image.
That'll help him clear through the Ancients that much quicker. He's top net worth right now, though the overall team net worth is very even.
Terrorblade, one of the best 1v5 heroes in the entire game. Might have to opt for an MKB, though, this game, because you are dealing with a Riki, so not only... Like, BKB is nice and all, but it doesn't make your illusions hit anything. As he's going for a Battle Fury on mid one. This is the EU region, sir. This is not NA. We do not... there's a lot of creeps that are not hit here. We hit heroes.
I mean, it's going to be pretty interesting when he has Battle Fury and Empower and just kind of hops in there against the Terrorblade. I'm not sure if that's going to be effective or not. Iceberg burned out of his mana. In trouble here. Didn't get a chance, really, to show off that fresh Blink Dagger.
He'll get to use it to get out of base quicker.
That is true in 25 seconds.
Absolutely, as we have the Ags almost done on Invoker. Those RPs, if he gets even just one, sometimes it's better to only get one with the Cataclysm coming on. That's going to be immediate solo kill threat from even the Sven stun, honestly. That's a really early Ag Scepter coming out from Topson here. Making a move on that mid tower.
Big bold flame break, little things to poke at OG, see if they can force him back, but OG will not be deterred. They have that siege wagon up. They really want to take this tower. They're going to go for the dives to make sure it happens. Always Wanna Fly goes down first, but Iceberg, he blinks in, tries to make that initiation to Thompson. Doesn't really stick, nor does General's jump, as he didn't even throw out his hook shot there. He's going to wait to use it on the Saksa, so at least they do find a trade-off there, 1-for-1. A buyback was actually used there from Always Wanna Fly.
It's only a 5 position, but still. Curious what the Sven goes for next. He's got 1,000 gold. He went for the drums on the support Sven. Is he going for like the Ags, the Blink, maybe, you know, like a Solar Crest type item? We'll have to see. I don't think I've ever seen a support Sven this patch.
Yeah, I have to imagine like I could see a rushed Ags not be too bad. Nice toss back there from Iceberg underneath V2. Now it is just at a bad. Always Wanna Fly. That's double damage mid one. Riki. Gotta watch out if you're a support in this game.
94 plus 145. You have the Claymore, you have the Empower, and the
RP, skewer back into the rest of the team with the AoE stun of the Stormhammer. A beautiful combination that kills the 2 supports, and OG can finally lay claim to that mid-tier 1.
You know a Mag player is a Mag. Good looking guy.
Yeah, good close-up on the man who was having quite the ball during the draft. I saw him laughing a number of times as the OG was going through their draft.
Yeah, it looked like a fun draft. We were all having fun figuring out what the hell they were doing.
Yeah, and I'm sure they were just laughing at the idea of Fly to Moon, trying to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, they're definitely the mindset of a techies player. You know, where our draft is ruining the experience for the other captain. I'm all about, if I don't know what I'm doing, how is the opponent ever going to know? OG, on the other hand, they just know, they know more than the other people, so they can know what they're doing and still have that same effect.
I saw Knoxville tweeted at you the stack timings.
Yeah. That was some cool information. Viking GG is the #1 team for stacking camps around the 27-minute mark, averaging almost half a camp stack per game.
Now, I want to see that same stat, but for all of the timings.
For 17. Yeah.
7.
I do it as often as I can. I really do it. I'd say I stack it at least half the time per each one. So it's something I've gotten in the habit in. I hope it'll catch on because I can act like I was the first one to do it, even though someone probably in China did it first, and that's who they're actually copying. Vampire Fangs for Terrorblade. Wonder if he's going to hold on to those. They don't really have any sustain in their lineup, and they have a lot of just AoE crap on the side of OG that he'll take damage from, unavoidably so.
Poor man.
He was in his
He's just sitting on top of a sentry.
That's a clockwork with just a 4-staff, man. That's an offlane clock, first item 4-staff. That does not feel good.
Yeah, remember when you were talking about how he wasn't rotating because he's kind of doing the same role as the Tiny, so he's focusing on getting some more farm? Well, that
there it
didn't really
is.
translate a whole lot.
Yeah, there's the farm. 4-staff.
More stuff.
It's obviously nice against the Ricky in the mag, but I don't know, man. That's a lot of that's your early item. It's not like a Veno where you do like a shit ton of damage or just your abilities tries the man to dodge that EMP. This is not Arteezy, nor is it Mickey that we saw earlier. But it's fine if you miss your spells. Just sunder your support.
Yeah, always want to fly, so this is no big deal. I got the Tranquilutsu to toss back again. This time on Seb, he is able to get the skewer away. Looks like a little bit farther down. We have the hook shot onto Tops, and that's a way more important kill. As No Tail was too busy trying to save his other allies to get to Tops, and now mid-one's in some trouble. Blink strike away.
You can just shield off the gun.
Oh no, he tossed back a creep. It got in the way. No Tail, he'll be hit by the low ground shots on the Terrorblade.
That's actually super annoying. They can't dust the Ricky because you can abandon shield off the dust.
Yeah, skewer back in. Seb catches V-Tune and his illusions, but I'm not sure if he wanted to do that. Iceberg takes that opportunity to pull Seb back into the fight that he started in the first place. And 4-staff, there goes General. He's going to be able to grab some people here. And buybacks are coming out from OG. They're going to try and turn around on General. A Photic Shield stolen by Roger is going to be able to wake General up from that stun. RP for a second there. Seb, that's not the real Terrorblade. He quickly realizes too. Can't stick around for the 20-minute bounty runes. Now RP skewered together.
That was sick.
That was nicely let up, but Iceberg's still alive until they get the 4-staff surrounding him. Make sure he can't get his hands on any of those bounty runes either. Oh,
immediate smoke.
Immediate smoke up from OG. They say there's only 3 alive from Fly to Moon, and Meta's down.
This is a map sweep smoke. Even if they don't catch somebody, which it looks like they are going to catch them, the rest of Fly to Moon has to play so scared until they see this, as they clock already TV back to base. Terrorblade's only showing top because he saw what happened bottom. Really good map control smoke. This is the best way to get wards up. Absolutely collapse on every single lane at once. If you're all missing, the enemy team has to act like you're in whatever lane they're in because they have to be afraid of you dying, and since they smoke, they could be there even faster. I really like those types of smokes because even if they weren't to get a kill, the mission, the goal of the smoke would still be accomplished.
Sure.
And that is a 4-staff from support Sven, who is higher net worth than the offlane clock, who I'm sure you and I both know equally well that offlane clock often turns into a support in its own right.
Yeah, and so normally you'd like to see a 4 position that can kind of take over that role. Instead, Fly to Moon, they have a strategy of just all in on V2.
Yeah, this is not the GH Rubik we saw earlier. Not to take anything away from Roger, but GH was farming up a storm. There's just not the map, the area on the map that he wants on Rubik. He can't be alone, right? He's against an Invoker. He's against a Ricky. He will die if he plays his own little game on the side lanes.
So, Biosha, you described Terrorblade as one of the best sort of hard carries in the game currently. Do you think he's going to be able to do that? Let's say net worth's even 20 minutes from now. What do you give his chances of just being able to 1v5 OG?
I'd say it's 30-40%, but the thing is, if there's one hero in the game that I want with the net worth distribution looking like it does, Terrorblade's one of my prime candidates.
Sure.
Where you have Terrorblade against the world, right? As long as you have some tools. The problem this game is they don't have Avenge. They don't have a Mag. They don't have a Darkseer. You know, they don't have some hero that buffs him up. So it's that much more difficult for him to solo carry the game because he is capped out at 6 items, right? On the other hand, with Ricky, you have the mag, you even have the Abaddon with the save. It makes it so that they can skip out on maybe some defensive items, maybe some damage items because of the Empower. On the other hand, Terrorblade has to itemize for every single thing that threatens him on the side of OG, whether or not that's the Cloud, whether or not that's the AoE RP, the magic damage, the Deafening Blast. And eventually that makes it harder and harder to carry. But if they can get 1 or 2 good engagements, as they're looking for one right now, that could be a difference maker for Terrorblade blowing up by hitting that 6-slotted timing super early. Scotty complete.
Yep, he has the Scotty, so he's very much ready to fight. They're going to get the toss back on a no-tail here. Not really the ideal target, but they're still going to be able to find some other heroes here. OG, they're being slowed down by this Scotty. They do have that Tiny very, very low. It looks like Mid-1 might be able to pick up the kill, but no. Actually, Lasso pulled back. Mid-1's in some trouble. The RP goes out, but it doesn't stop the damage from D2 as he lays it out. They do have that big Sunstrike combo there, but it didn't really come to effect. Nobody really got caught by that. Just a bit of harmless damage on a general. Okay, a little bit of meatball action there on V2, bringing him a little bit low, but he still has a Sunder, turns it on to Thompson. Thompson now down to half health, but they need some disables, they need some stuns. V2, he needs to be able to pump out the damage on people. Looks like he's got some eyes finally onto Thompson, but he's getting skewered back into the tier 2, but he doesn't give a damn. Now takes that damage out, finishes off the Invoker, and they're turning Saksa's trying to, but it's a 4 position. Sven with the 4-stab. You don't do any damage, Saksa. Underneath the towers, V2 just doesn't care. He goes to the DPL spot. Oh my God! Stormhammer comes in just in time, and V2 not having a Sunder anymore means he's just damn dead.
The Mid-1's got to be much more careful. Without him, they just don't have damage. They really don't have any damage.
Yeah.
And he died right at the start of the fight. Surprised he's going for a Scotty as opposed to like a Manta. Just some ease of execution item where if they catch him with some dust, he can push it. And in this case, he's about to get blown up again by Tiny. He brought down to about 20%, but that's just not enough. As Tiny blew his entire load right at the start there, and he's got nothing left in the canister.
Yeah, a little awkward too because General hook-shotted out at that time. Like maybe, just maybe, he sticks around, they could focus Mid-1 down.
Not on the same page, right?
Yeah.
As Roche immediately for OG. Ricky's at like 15% health though. I don't know about this play. They don't have a Vlad's or anything. No mech, no Grease. And they're just gonna back off. Yes, No Tail's gonna slowly but surely heal him up. But that's not gonna be in time for to punish this Terrorblade respawn.
That's right, I always want to fly. You dream big, buddy. Cue up that Blink Dagger.
He's almost there.
Just
compound interest, right?
Yeah,
he's got to invest over the minutes of this game.
100 gold at a time. 25-minute bounty runes, and OG going for the invasion inside the triangle. Hook shot going out, trying to defend his allies from that Mid-1 Riki. Didn't really get the lockdown he was looking for. It looks like Roger will be feasted upon by the Rikimaru. Now they're gonna look to the left-hand side where I always want to fly. The next support will die. Double kill for Mid-1. The core is still alive here of Flight of Moon, but this is, OG's one of the best teams at doing this, by the way, is like kind of baiting Roshan and then just running at the enemy.
Yeah, I just realized that Terrorblade is effectively a range core. Scotty goes up massively in value. The attack speed slow and the move speed slow are so much better on against the ranged heroes, and also both supports are ranged. So it's kind of like an expensive diffusal. Sure. You know, you get them in the cloud, you blink on them, and they're slowed by 50%.
Hookshot blocked by a Forge Spirit. That was just beautiful by Thompson. Iceberg still managed to go in after the agents picked up, though. And so his life is now forfeit, as is maybe Generals if Seb. He's got the RP, but he doesn't see anybody, so.
We talk about the Terrorblade being able to solo carry this game, but your other two cores are a Clockwork and a Tiny, man. They're just not going to scale. They're going to fall off. I have to believe you need something, you know, some other hero that would just naturally do well with virtually no items. I think Clock and Tiny, they've kind of hit the peak of their game. It's only going to go downhill from here. They're on the back nine. They're in their midlife crisis, and they're about to have that panic attack if they have not already had it.
Radiant's top tower.
Deep breaths here for Flight of Moon. They try and calm themselves, steel their nerves, and see if they can hold out against OG down one game in this best-of-3 series. And they are a little bit split right now. An opportunity is going to present itself to Fly2Moon to perhaps kill mid-1, who does still have that Aegis, so they can't overcommit, per se. And OG, well, they're rapidly swarming on in. They were once split, but it only takes a few seconds for them to group back up and become a swarm of hornets.
Now, Ricky, he's itemizing purely for this empower damage. He has the Scotty as his threat item, and now he's all in on that agility, as Ricky actually has one of the worst agility gains in the entire game, despite being an agility hero. So the only way he's going to benefit a significant amount from that empower is to go for some agility items. As he queues up the butterfly, will he complete that? That's, you know, a whole nother story. But as of now, that's what he's gearing up for.
What, you think that the game might just be over before he gets it?
I'm saying that he might go for something else. He might go for like an Abyssal or even a Manta, as I mentioned again, Mess and Y. But Butterfly, if he's going straight damage, is very nice here because it's not all that much survivability against 4 out of 5 heroes on Fly2Moon. But the thing is, we talked about, Terrorblade's really the only one that's going to scale. So I guess if he's itemizing purely against the Terrorblade, that goes up in value a lot this game compared to most other games, as he does commit to the Butterfly buying the Eagle Song.
Chill, mid-1, damn.
At least he's not in their fountain just yet.
Yeah, not yet. Give him time, though.
Oh, if Hogan goes down, that's a dieback.
That is a very big dieback, as OG, they got to get out of here. But General, he shows up, but does not have a hook shot.
They did use meta for that, so OG can wait and maybe still utilize that window. They might wait for Invoker. They'll have like 50 seconds where there's no meta and there is an Invoker.
Yeah, that's why Iceberg is looking for more kills, but mid-1, he was sitting there on the high ground, and he makes mid- Oh, an RP that completely whipped. And V2 seems an opportunity. Was that an RP whipped by the Rubik as well? I think so.
Yes, wow.
Double whipped RP. Don't see that every day, ladies and gentlemen. Saksa has the force staff to get himself down Cliff. No tail, though he doesn't have his borrowed time. So that's going to be 2 extra kills, and all it cost them was Tiny. Just kind of running in. Iceberg just kind of accepting his fate as the fight starter, and we'll never see the end of a team fight, I'm afraid. He'll always be in the grave by that point.
Big map opener for Fly2Moon here, as they now can
Oh, the hook shot!
Oh, he has Aegis still, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is going to be good or not. They could definitely take away this Aegis. What's going to happen on the second life, though? Saksa, he's going to show up. Seb, he's here as well. Nice 2-man stun. No longer having the meta means this Terrorblade may not be as effective anymore. The Cox push back immediately on mid-1. And with the buyback, actually, they are going to be able to get the last one. They actually finish him off. They try to help out mid-1. He does get saved. Blink strike away. Up to the high ground he goes. And, well, Fly2Moon. They're just going to back away. No, they're not. Iceberg goes back in and quickly takes down Saksa. Does a decent amount of damage to mid-1 as well. With the back away again. Iceberg with quick assassination. And he gets out.
Notice how reliant Ricky is upon the abandoned saves, as well as the armor from the Sven and the damage from the mag. He doesn't look very threatening when he doesn't have this supporting cast. And it just shows the importance of OG's entire lineup working together as one, as if they do manage to pick off 1 or 2 heroes at the start of the fight for Fly2Moon and chase for more, OG's just a lot less daunting as a lineup, and they can beat them in team fights.
Yeah.
Terrorblade is completely independent of his heroes around him, other than the fact that he needs their stuns. That's really all he relies on, is their disables, allowing him to hit the stunned targets, as Metamorphosis is coming off cooldown. Grove Bow, quite a nice item here, allows him to position more around the RP with himself and his illusions, giving him that extra 150 attack range. Going Octarine Core is Thompson. Almost done with it, I believe. I think the recipe is about 900. I always forget when they rework these items.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the level 20 Blink Strike.
Yeah.
This is when supports don't have a game any longer.
Positioning no longer exists.
Yeah.
You cannot play around that. What I think it turns into 1100 Blink range, 1200.
Yeah, I think it's actually, yeah, something like that.
Just like the PA cast range buff.
Sunstrike! Okay, but oh no. They saw an opportunity. They're going to be able to get the RP skewer back with a 425 extra range. They pull him all the way back into the tier 3 area. They don't immediately have the lasso to remove it, but it doesn't really matter. V-Tune's left alone. Deafening Blast slows down his damage. They're going to pop the glyph now to try and do some more work onto OG, but they're all pretty tanky here. And mid-1, he's not scared of the Terrorblade by himself. It's a 1v5 after all. V-Tune. He does have his Sunder, so they got to be a little bit careful of that. Sunstrike isn't going to do enough. It doesn't land anyway. V-Tune
think it would have been enough.
You think so?
He's got like 500. It's pure damage. He has Ags too, so it gives that extra 1 level of X-Sword.
Yeah.
Does have a telescope on a bat, and that's a really good item for him here. Gives a blink cast range on mid one. It gives blink cast range on mag. It gives Sven stun cast range. It gives a bat in the mist coil in the bench in the Photic shield. It's weird because usually you think of it as a attack range item, but in this case the cast range is quite impactful.
Yeah. That especially always has that problem, right? Hook shot immediately. That's an Aghanim Scepter double hook shot. That's going to be enough. Chain stun mid one.
Mid one is
Fed away his godlike streak. He is on one tonight.
not in a good way.
Not in a good way, indeed. Well, you know, comes with the good and bad, I guess. Entertaining. Give him that much.
Yeah, he's got balls of steel for sure, walking up that hill like that with a bat and not being in range. Sometimes when you play with these safe heroes, you feel so much stronger than you individually are, you know? And you've been hard to kill all game, and he's like, I got this, as he face plants straight into death.
Haystron, what could possibly happen? What are they gonna do, stun me? Says man who got chain stunned to death. And now...
I'm going high ground, guys. They can't burst me.
Now...
That's famous last words from any carry player. We've all been there, guys. Don't act like you haven't. Still feel free to say mid one kick W, though.
Hook shot one. Cogs push back. Seb. And they have another hook shot here as he gets tossed up.
No buyback.
Hook shot not really needed. Seb, he is... That's a dieback for him. 100 seconds on the clock.
Dire's middle
Okay.
has fallen.
This might lead to a Roche eventually.
Yeah.
It's not up yet.
Potential spawn time starts right now. So flight
2 minutes. Ugh, unlucky.
You hate to see it. They are super split right now. I'm an OG. They somehow know that. Maybe because of their wards, and they're going to be able to catch V-Tune here. It's got Manta and Meta. The smoke screen, though, it's going to be so problematic. Scotty slowing him down a lot. Doesn't turn around to get off the Thunder, but here comes the Cataclysm. Two-man Sunstrike. It's there. General's going to be able to help him out, though. Nice Cox holding back Saksa. At the same time, Tops is just being obliterated by this damage. But the only thing it's saving right now is the disarm that was on V-Tune's actual hero. His illusions almost did the trick, but Thompson slides away. Thief into the night with that Ghost Walk, and less General. He's going to find him. Re-ups it with the Aghanim Scepter and finds the hook shot, giving V-Tune the double kill, and all of a sudden OG, they're dead with 4. No buybacks. Now a 1.
Yeah, they, I don't know. They seem to be thinking their lineup is strong without all 5 heroes. I think Mag's needed for damage, Sven's needed for some mobility and low cooldown stun, Invoker's needed for crowd control, Ricky's needed for actual damage, and Abaddon's needed for the save. Like, they actually need every part of their kit, and they just did that without a Mag, and suddenly V-Tune, he's not afraid of positioning anymore. He's just going to stand in place and hit everybody, because the RP factor is just not there. And you see there, they weren't able to burst him down, able to get that Sunder off right before the Cataclysm hits, and suddenly they're all dead, losing a Rax. Went from down 8k to a Rax in their favor, and that's probably going to lead to Roche, as they have a courier sitting in there, going to be up in 30 seconds. Yes, all of OG will be alive, but they're going to have to walk through a creep wave to contest that for sure. As Terrorblade has a BKB, geared up to solo carry this game, as he queues up a Daedalus, deeming damage to be his only issue.
Okay.
Instead of an MKB.
Yeah.
A bit surprised against Ricky. The mischance threshold for Terrorblade actually did this test. It's around 45% that you would need to be missing for MKB to be more damage than Daedalus. Just because his illusions crit, so they hit like trucks with the Daedalus, but don't really benefit from the MKB proc at all.
Yeah, so he's got Smokescreen, which, okay, he's got BKB to deal with that, but he still has Heaven's Halberd, right?
Yeah.
Sven's got that at least. What else is there?
I think that's it, actually, so maybe that's why he's deemed Daedalus the play. Even though it doesn't help his illusions in Cloud, his main hero will be dumping out the damage. The OG's actually the ones that go into the Roche pit because meta, I believe, is on cooldown still for another 30 or 40 seconds.
Can they do this fast enough with the alacrity? Mid-one.
Not backtapping it. There we go.
Yeah, okay, we finally got Roshan's attention here, so now they can really lay the damage into Roche, and it's dropping fast, but at the same time, you're trying to do this against the Clockwork. Where's the rocket flares? Clockwork starting to approach. EMP, though, that's going to burn him out of all this mana, and they take the Aegis. They take the cheese.
Okay, well, we got a game on our hands. It's dead even. Down a lane of Rax is OG, but they also have the Aegis. It's all about the map control here. Who jumps who? And we see Thompson. He's almost dead full to 0.
That was an 1800 damage crit. Did I just see that? Oh, the flame break. It's not going to be enough. He regens way too much with the Quas build. Always able to fly. He dies for his attempt on the Invoker's life.
I like Flight of Moon's lack of hesitation. Like, they just go, man. They see Thompson. They're like, we think Abaddon's not going to be there quite in time. He's playing way too out of position on Invoker. They almost bring him down full to 0. Even though it didn't work, I really like their immediate decision-making here.
What's the threshold on Magic Lamp? It's 400, right?
You get 400 health.
You get 400.
I actually don't know what the threshold itself is. It's about 400 as well, I think.
No-Tail looked at it, he was like, looking at it, he was like, I'm not sure if I want this item or not.
It gives you health, and it heals you. I feel like that's pretty important here. Yeah, I think that's really important. Spell Prism for Ricky, though, so I don't know if Thompson would like that more. Spell Prism's pretty insane on Invoker. It's also pretty insane on the likes of Mag. Once again, a hero with low cooldown spells, but also one long cooldown that would benefit drastically from that reduction. Leveler. Not that great of an item for the OG squad. Ricky doesn't benefit from attack speed too much. They actually give him the Prism. That makes sense too. Makes his fate time on his ult that much lower. And all of his other better spells.
Yeah, charges Blink Strike a little bit faster, able to Cloak and Dagger back and forth.
Once he gets to level 25, I believe his Cloak and Dagger has like a 4-second cooldown.
Yeah. Tier 3.
Or Tricks of the Trade, I mean.
Yeah, I always get those two confused.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They're going to force Flight of Moon back to defend their base.
Ricky, the base hitter, when he has him power and alacrity.
Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is falling.
Hitting for 500 with those buffs.
Radiant's top barracks are under
from the
Keeps
front.
uncovering himself with the smoke screen just to make sure Iceberg can't blink and toss him backwards. But as the smoke screen fades, Iceberg sees his opportunity. Immediately goes into the Tricks of the Trade. The skewer on back. Iceberg completely isolated from the rest of his team. He pops Minotaur Horn, but it doesn't really do a whole lot for him. No buyback used just yet, but OG will respect Flight of Moon's base still. They back away, reset
They haven't used anything really, though, so they're probably just going to go again.
Yeah, all they really used there was God's Strength. That's from a forward position, Sven, so you might as well go again and see if you could force that buyback.
They spoke behind him, actually.
Hook shot one, Cox pushback. Now the buyback comes in for the Tiny, but General, he positioned his Cogs. He wasn't trying to engage, he was trying to push OG back. The Clockwork still almost dies to Midwand here, and he's going to be lasted up. That's life number 1.
He has cheese.
Now, No-Tail's going to give it a little closer, plus they have the cheese, so Midwand still has plenty of saves here. They managed to force the meta, so they can just kind of reset and wait for that meta to go away.
Please wait.
Are they going to wait, though? Midwand, he sees the opportunity to be able to catch the Bat Rider, 4-staff Magic Lamp. All the little things that help save Always Want to Fly limp away. The illusions have been dealt with, though. The damage running low on Flight of Moon as they fail to be able to repel OG. That's going to be a lane of barracks.
But they didn't wait because the meta was already out. I didn't realize he popped it that early on in the fight.
Yeah. Now it just keeps on jumping in. Midwand sees an opportunity. Oh. Like that smoke screen catches Iceberg right as he goes for the jump ending, but pops the Minotaur Horn. Does manage to get the toss back. Bashed up, though. Telekinesis doesn't last for long. Hook shot 1. Cogs push back a 4-step. And he managed to get off the cheese. I'm saving now the RP into the kill. Thompson, he'll finish it off in style. They have a couple of buybacks, but only 2 for Flight of Moon, and it's looking like OG with that kind of sick wombo combo may have just ended this series.
Yeah, you couldn't even see the individual beams of the Cataclysm. They're all right on top of each other. It just looked like one ray of absolute death. As they used all the call.
They're not even going to try.
They showed signs of life.
Yeah, they certainly did.
I was happy to see them fight back. They even took that Rax, and I would say Midwand as a carry player,